I spoke on Pierce Morgan. I said that I had three victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. It's been evading, but the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that.
It's one thing to see the music industry as a realm of glittering awards and multi-platinum records, but what if there's a darker story pulsing beneath the surface? Whispers are getting louder that some of music's biggest names are linked, by more than hit songs and legendary performances. From the rumored behind-the-scenes dealings that catapulted Beyoncé to global superstardom, to the chilling allegations Jaguar Wright continues to uncover, it seems everyone's asking the same burning question.
If we get to the bottom of Tupac's when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
Were you surprised by QPD's arrest for Tupac?
No. I'm just surprised that he hasn't given it up yet. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone to the feds yet, because he just got stabbed in jail.
Yes, he did.
He's been beaten 3 times. And I'm going to say it for a fact. I know you the one pulling the strings, Reggie Wright Jr.
What is really going on? And why have these secrets stayed buried for so long? Jaguar Wright's recent statements about Beyoncé have sent the internet into a frenzy. For years, people admired Beyoncé's polished image, someone who rarely addresses drama, someone who opts for dazzling stage shows over online feuds. Now, however, rumors suggest she may have delivered a stern warning to Jaguar, a singer known for laying bare the music industry's ugliest truths. It's not every day that Beyoncé, famously discreet, is rumored to clap back at anyone. This alone hints that we might be dealing with a story bigger than the usual gossip cycle. But how did we reach this point? Stories about Beyoncé's upbringing and the influence of her father, Matthew Knowles, have been swirling for ages. According to some insiders, the official story, hardworking girl from Houston breaks into stardom by raw talent, may gloss over what truly happened behind closed doors. Privately, a handful of people claim that Matthew Knowles forged alliances, orchestrated deals, and took steps so extreme that some call them ritualistic in nature. It's enough to make anyone skeptical. After all, conspiracies about famous stars selling their souls or engaging in bizarre ceremonies are nothing new. Yet every time these rumors pop up, small pieces of evidence or testimony emerge that make them harder to dismiss outright. One day it might be an insider claiming certain families performed sacrifices for success. Another day, it's an old band member stepping forward with stories that sound straight out of a paranormal drama. Even so, nothing has ignited the spark quite like Jaguar Wright's current crusade. And that's where things get truly wild. Jaguar Wright isn't just a random voice on the internet. She's a singer with industry connections and a reputation for speaking bluntly about powerful figures. Her willingness to name names has made her a lightning rod. She first caught widespread attention when she revealed troubling details about high-profile artists, including Diddy and Jay-Z. Many dismissed her as a sensationalist, but over time, some of her previous allegations eerily aligned with real-life events, which only lent her more credibility among certain fans. Now, as she targets Beyoncé, the stakes couldn't be higher. Jaguar claims there's more to Beyoncé's success than meets the eye. She has alluded to secret deals, hush-hush power plays, and alliances with people like Diddy, who might possess far greater influence than the public realized. This would already be dramatic enough, but consider Diddy's current predicament. The man once seen as one of music's mightiest moguls now faces lawsuits suggesting he was involved in everything from forced labor to trafficking and beyond. As these legal actions stack up, his empire is teetering. If these allegations hold any truth, it means the man who once threw lavish parties for the industry's elite might have built his fortune on something far darker. One reason these claims strike a nerve is that for decades, Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé have been considered almost untouchable. Their success stories are taught like folklore: unstoppable hustle, relentless ambition, savvy business sense. Yet, Jaguar Wright's version doesn't read like an inspiring rags-to-riches saga. Instead, she suggests a hidden web of manipulation, a system that's more about controlling lives and careers than about nurturing raw talent. Take, for instance, the narrative around how Beyoncé supposedly met Jay-Z through Diddy. To casual fans, it's a harmless story. Young rising stars, a chance meeting, and romance that blossomed. But Jaguar Wright hints that it wasn't a spontaneous event at all, that it was planned and orchestrated with a specific outcome in mind. If true, that means even the earliest chapters of Beyoncé and Jay-Z's romance were influenced by powerful men making backroom deals. Meanwhile, as Diddy fights for his career in court, many point out that Jay-Z seems to be keeping his distance. This wouldn't be the first time Jay-Z has been accused of stepping aside when former friends or allies land in hot water. DeHaven, a close childhood buddy, went on record about how Jay allegedly abandoned him after they hustled side by side. Dame Dash, once a co-founder of Rockefeller Records, watched Jay ascend to an even higher level of power while Dame was left behind. Is it possible that history is repeating itself, with Jay-Z quietly letting Diddy take the fall? Jaguar believes so, and her allegations suggest this was the plan from the start. That brings us back to Beyoncé's rumored reaction. Usually, she's the last person to respond to internet chatter. Yet some claim that behind the scenes, she's employing legal muscle, cease and desist letters, phone calls to media outlets, private negotiations to ensure Jaguar's revelations don't get too close to the truth. Whether she really sent Jaguar a personal warning or not, there's no denying that something feels different this time. The allegations are deeper, the names involved are bigger, and the potential fallout looms on a much larger scale. Part of the shock comes from how these rumors intersect with claims of witchcraft and strange occurrences. Years ago, a musician named Kimberly Thompson, a former drummer for Beyoncé, claimed she was harassed, controlled, and even attacked using extreme witchcraft. She went as far as to say her pet was harmed under mysterious circumstances. The entire fiasco sounded so bizarre that most people shrugged it off as an outlandish attempt to grab headlines, but the fact that it led to legal paperwork at all raised eyebrows in certain circles. Even though the courts apparently dismissed Thompson's pleas, the story refused to die. Now that Jaguar Wright brings it up again, people who once waved it away are taking a second look. Could there be a kernel of truth in what initially seemed like tabloid fodder? Beyoncé has never deigned to acknowledge these accusations, which is typical for her. Still, her silence only fires up more speculation. Another rumor that resurfaces from time to time is about Beyoncé and dancehall superstar Sean Paul. Their 2003 collaboration, Baby Boy, dominated charts for weeks, but fans found it odd how rarely they performed it together. Gossip about a secret affair spread like wildfire, fueled by the fact that they'd appear on stage separately or in fleeting joint appearances. Sean Paul later hinted they had a strong connection, leaving some to believe the two might have been more than just co-performers. If any of this is true, it would imply Beyoncé's public relationship timeline with Jay-Z may have more complexity than people realize. Yet all these rumors pale in comparison to the biggest question: is Jaguar Wright correct in believing there's a broader system of control? She paints a picture of an industry where artists at the top wield unstoppable power. They can make or break careers, all while hiding their own skeletons. Diddy's entanglement with serious accusations like trafficking or bribery might not just be about one man's crimes. It could implicate others who benefited from the same system. Consider Rihanna's story. She was signed to Def Jam at just 16. Jay-Z reportedly told her there were two ways to leave his office: sign the deal or exit another way, allegedly implying something she simply could not refuse. Even if it was a joke, it doesn't land well when discussing a frightened teenager in a foreign country. Rihanna's father wasn't present at that first meeting, which only fueled the sense of discomfort. Over time, Rihanna built her own empire with Fenty, and in doing so, has seemingly put distance between herself and Jay-Z. Nobody's ever said outright that Jay-Z did anything sinister, but fans have noticed the gap that's grown between them. Could she be stepping away from an old dynamic that no longer serves her? Meanwhile, the long chain of people who've claimed Jay-Z betrays allies once he surpasses them is notable. There's DeHaven, Dame Dash, stories of the late Big L. Then, there's the question of whether he's now doing the same to Diddy. Those who follow these rumors believe Jay-Z might be quietly, calmly letting Diddy sink while ensuring no rope is thrown his way. And if Diddy was deeply involved in questionable activities, it's easy to see why someone like Jay-Z wouldn't want to be seen as a co-conspirator. If Beyoncé and Jay-Z are still forging onward as a powerhouse couple, what does that mean for everything Jaguar Wright has said? Are they united in shutting down these rumors? Or do they have separate reasons to keep any mention of hidden deals under wraps? One story that gained traction online said a dancer once sat on Beyoncé's lap in a club, only to have Beyoncé hiss, "Don't start something you can't finish." Nobody ever verified the account, but it circulated as another piece of evidence that Beyoncé can be intimidating when threatened. Jaguar, on the other hand, refuses to be cowed. She's spoken out on talk shows, social media, and anywhere else that will let her share her story. By naming some of the most powerful figures in music, she's placing a target on her back. If the rumors are accurate, Beyoncé may have threatened her with legal action or with something less official, but potentially more daunting. That only seems to embolden Jaguar further. Considering how rarely Beyoncé engages in public spats, the alleged warning raises fresh questions about what she's guarding so fiercely. If, as Jaguar Wright claims, Beyoncé was guided into the spotlight by more than just fatherly advice and industry mentors, then indeed there's much to protect. Brand deals, a global following, an entire mythos built around the idea of self-made success. Once that myth shatters, the repercussions could be huge. In the midst of all this, Diddy's empire continues to unravel. He stands accused of orchestrating horrifying acts that go way beyond the usual petty rumors and feuds. In a typical scenario, old. Allegations might fade or get settled out of court, but these have escalated to a point that can't be ignored. Sponsors are backing away, collaborators are reevaluating their connections, and Diddy no longer looks invincible. If he has been, as Jaguar Wright suggests, a cornerstone of a greater system of control, then his downfall might signal the collapse of something that's propped up the industry for decades. But the bigger question remains. Are Beyoncé and Jay-Z about to watch the entire kingdom they helped build start crumbling? Or will they emerge unscathed once again? No matter how you look at it, both of them are master strategists when it comes to public relations. They could well have planned for this scenario. Maybe they're more than ready to jettison old alliances if doing so safeguards their own positions. Even so, a portion of the public is becoming more skeptical. People are demanding direct answers, especially the fans who once believed these power couples were symbols of unblemished success. It's no longer enough for celebrities to ignore accusations. Social media thrives on these controversies, dissecting them in real time. Whenever Beyoncé or Jay-Z stays silent, it's seen as suspicious, particularly when accusations involve potential exploitation or wrongdoing in personal and professional relationships. To complicate matters further, there's a continuing debate about whether many of these claims are legitimate or just publicity grabs. The music industry thrives on sensationalism. False stories can go viral in hours, overshadowing real issues. Yet if there's even a sliver of truth in Jaguar Wright's revelations, it could reshape how we view an entire generation of icons. The fact that Jaguar has singled out not just Beyoncé, but also Diddy and Jay-Z, points to a broader web of power, one that relies on mutual benefit. Keep each other's secrets, and everyone remains untouchable. Stories of questionable deals are as old as show business itself. But this might be the first time in modern music history that so many puzzle pieces are converging at once, creating a picture of an industry that's far from glamorous behind the scenes. Diddy's legal battles could blow the lid off hidden operations. Jay-Z's rumored betrayal patterns might reveal how people at the top stay there, and Beyoncé's supposed warning to Jaguar Wright suggests the queen of pop culture refuses to let anyone tarnish her carefully protected narrative. Those watching from the outside are left with countless questions. Could it be that the success we see on stage and on award shows is built on more than just talent? Maybe on strategic alliances that push certain individuals to the forefront, while discarding those who challenge the status quo? Are we witnessing a historical shift where fans and insiders finally demand transparency from previously untouchable figures? Jaguar Wright's claim that she has seen things the rest of us can barely imagine weighs heavily on those who have started believing in her accounts. She says big names in the industry are masters at crafting illusions, using money, fear, and fame to keep people in line. If that's true, no one in that circle is safe from these revelations, not even someone as universally adored as Beyoncé. And this is the crux of it. The possibility that the same individuals revered for decades might share responsibility for burying truths about exploitation, coercion, or worse. That alone is enough to keep everyone on the edge of their seats, following each new rumor or lawsuit that pops up. Because if even half of these allegations are real, the entire celebrity world could face a reckoning the likes of which we've never seen. So what happens next? As lawsuits progress, as more alleged victims speak out, as Jaguar Wright continues to poke the industry's biggest hornet nests, will we see more evidence come to light? Will there be a rush of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and settlements, an attempt to squash the drama before it escalates? Or will new testimonies add fuel to an already raging fire? For now, much remains hidden behind a haze of rumor, speculation, and carefully maintained public images. Yet there's a feeling that something big is indeed brewing, that certain truths may soon be impossible to suppress. It might start with small cracks, a disgruntled former employee leaking text messages, a friend of a friend confirming suspicious encounters. Once those cracks form, they can splinter into a full-blown collapse, dragging every name tethered to these controversies right into the spotlight. Beyoncé and Jay-Z could easily ride out smaller storms as they've done before, by focusing on new music projects or philanthropic endeavors to shift the narrative. Their fans have proven fiercely loyal. But if Jaguar Wright manages to keep pressing the issue, and if Diddy's legal troubles expose more than anyone bargained for, shifting the narrative might not be so simple. Still, plenty of people believe these stars will emerge intact. They argue that rumors of witchcraft and conspiratorial deals are overblown, that the music business is cutthroat but not necessarily operating as some hidden society of manipulative puppet masters. In that view, Jaguar Wright is simply stirring up sensational claims to keep attention on herself. Could that be true? Absolutely. But there's a reason so many are tuning in now, and it's because even outlandish rumors tend to have at least a grain of truth. Look at the track records. Diddy's career, once unstoppable, is under serious threat. Jay-Z is famously known for business chess moves that often favor him while leaving former allies in ruin. Beyoncé rarely addresses rumors, yet multiple controversies keep popping up around her. When you line all these elements side by side, it's no wonder conspiracy theorists and everyday fans alike suspect that big revelations are just around the corner. Whatever side you land on, it's clear that the dynamics of power in the music industry are changing. The age where celebrities could keep tight control over their images, rarely challenged by deep investigative reporting, is over. Social media commentary moves too fast. Old interviews resurface overnight. Lawsuits become public record. So if there really is a skeleton in Beyoncé's closet, or in Jay-Z's or Diddy's, someone, somewhere, may eventually produce receipts that can't be ignored. Until then, the hush behind the scenes grows louder. Sources, both named and anonymous, suggest that some of music's biggest names are in damage control mode. Legal teams are sending out letters. PR agents are working overtime. Managers are coaching their clients on what not to say to the press. Meanwhile, Jaguar Wright stands firm, claiming that no matter how many warnings she receives, she won't stop talking. She's pointing a spotlight into corners that, if illuminated, could forever alter the stories these celebrities have sold to the world. At the heart of it all is an uncomfortable possibility that the price of success in this industry may have been far more than signing a few contracts or giving up personal time. Some allege it involved the manipulation of young talents, suspicious financial transactions, broken promises, and an endless chain of secrets kept under wraps by mutual agreements. If that's the world Jaguar Wright is determined to expose, then we might see more names surface in the coming months. Now we reach a crossroads. Either these allegations fade like so many others before, or they escalate and open a door we can't close again. If they escalate, expect more voices to chime in. Some who support Jaguar, others who defend their idols vehemently. We might see disclaimers from lawyers, official responses, possible disclaimers from major corporations, or a full-scale media frenzy. Whatever the outcome, people are going to have a hard time looking at the music industry the same way. And in the end, everyone wants answers. Did Beyoncé really issue a private warning that threatened Jaguar Wright to stay silent? Did Diddy truly orchestrate deals behind the scenes that helped raise Beyoncé's profile? Has Jay-Z simply been biding his time, stepping away from Diddy at the exact moment it benefits him most, just as he's allegedly done with others in his past? The moment any solid evidence appears, it'll either confirm everyone's worst suspicions or debunk the entire web of gossip once and for all. But even debunking it won't erase the broader conversation Jaguar Wright has sparked. That there may be a hidden cost to climbing the ranks in entertainment, and that some powerhouses are willing to keep those costs secret forever. After all, industries as profitable as music aren't always built on fairy tales. They thrive on profit, glamour, and sometimes fear. Right now, it feels like we're standing on the verge of a massive shift. Should Jaguar Wright produce more receipts, or if Diddy's lawsuits unravel further details, the fallout could be spectacular to witness. We're left with an ongoing saga, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, and Jaguar Wright at its center, where each new claim and counterclaim stirs the pot a bit more. These are no longer just random rumors in tabloids, they're allegations that threaten to unseat the reputations of the biggest stars in the world. If you've followed the swirling gossip or read the recent headlines, you've probably formed your own theories. Maybe you think the entire story's overblown, or maybe you believe the cracks in the system are beginning to show, one way or another. This is a moment where fans and onlookers alike are paying closer attention, reading between the lines in every social media post and interview. They want to see if this time the truth finally surfaces. Because the real question isn't merely whether Beyonce or Jay-Z or Diddy did specific things, it's whether the entire music landscape was built on illusions and backdoor bargains. If that's the case, a single unstoppable voice might be enough to topple it all. For now, Jaguar Wright is that voice. And if a stern warning from Beyoncé was the response, then we can assume these revelations have cut closer than any rumor before. Wherever this ends, it's a story that forces us to reconsider the sparkling images we see on stage, and remember they might hide a labyrinth of secrets. Whether you side with Jaguar's allegations or dismiss them, one fact stands out. The conversation she has triggered is changing the narrative. People are less willing to accept feel-good success stories at face value. Instead, they're asking the uncomfortable questions. How did this person truly get here? Who might have been sacrificed or silenced along the way? And are we missing the most significant story in entertainment because we don't want to believe it could be true? Those are questions no PR team can bury forever. So keep watching, because if there's one certainty here, it's that this saga isn't finished. Even if legal teams intervene or official denials roll out, the undercurrent of suspicion and the thirst for truth will remain. And if what Jaguar Wright says holds any weight, it's only a matter of time before we see more unraveling of the carefully maintained empire that has dazzled us for decades. In the end, the real power might lie with everyday people, the fans, the listeners, the social media detective squads. If they decide they want the truth more than the perfect illusions, no stern warning can keep it hidden forever. So stay alert, watch how these major players respond, and remember that even icons can be questioned when their world starts to show cracks. Because sometimes, the biggest stories in the music industry aren't about the songs you hear. They're about the secrets you never knew existed. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Hit that like button if you found this mind-blowing and subscribe for more revelations. We've only scratched the surface.